So today we had discussed about speaking on this particular topic of leadership sutras based on Bhagavad Gita. So I had briefly given this talk in GM, not full, but small part of this. So, and we were waiting for this to be covered in our Bhakti Vriksha session also. So today we had decided to go over this topic, and it all relates with what I have observed in the life of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, also following these leadership sutras based on Bhagavad Gita principles. So I was thinking maybe we'll relate with that also in glorification of Guru Maharaj. So leadership sutras, mainly we'll be speaking from Bhagavad Gita. So we know when we talk about Bhagavad Gita is considered as a religious book. But Bhagavad Gita is not simply a religious book, but it's a book of wisdom, book of knowledge, and it's a book of universal knowledge which applies to everybody. The principles given in Bhagavad Gita are not just for Hindus, not just for Indians, but it applies to each and every one. But most people, they consider Bhagavad Gita as a religious book, and if we ask somebody, do you have Bhagavad Gita? People say, yes, I have Bhagavad Gita. Right? And what do you do with Bhagavad Gita? I wrap it nicely in a red cloth, put it in a nice sacred corner of the house. One person was describing, okay, my grandfather brought this copy of Bhagavad Gita from Lahore. And every morning he will pranam, he will pay obeisances to Bhagavad Gita, and he will go to his work. Okay, very good. And my grandfather gave it to my father. My father also paid obeisances to Bhagavad Gita every morning and went to his work. And my father gave it to me. I also do pranam to Bhagavad Gita and go to my office. I will give this to my son. He will also do pranam and go to office. So, okay, that is very good. But सभी लोग प्रणाम ही करेंगे या कोई खोल के पढ़ेगा भी? Right? Will everybody just pay obeisances to Bhagavad Gita, or will somebody read it also? If just paying obeisances to Bhagavad Gita could be so glorious, could be so wonderful, then what about reading Bhagavad Gita? Right? How much more beneficial it could be to read Bhagavad Gita? Because Bhagavad Gita, the wisdom contained in Bhagavad Gita, what does Bhagavad Gita really teaches? Bhagavad Gita, what is the main focus, main principle of Bhagavad Gita? Anybody?
I don't know the technicality, but I would say to teach you the way of life.
Okay, to teach us the way of life. Bhagavad Gita teaches the way of life. Okay, very good. Anything else? How to surrender to the Lord. Okay. How to develop the qualities which are dear to the Lord. Okay, good.
How to handle difficult situation.
How to handle difficult situation. Okay, very good. Now we are coming closer to extracting the leadership sutras from Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is not simply a religious book. What is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita? In what context, in what scenario Bhagavad Gita was spoken? When Arjuna was having difficulty making a decision. So Bhagavad Gita helps us to make the right decisions. Okay, that is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. How to make the right choices, the right decisions in our life. If we talk about leadership, and sometimes we talk about management also. What is the difference between management and leadership? Yeah, I know many of you may be in a better, superior positions in your workplaces than me. And I am sitting here on the leadership sutras, what we can learn from Bhagavad Gita, how we can apply those leadership sutras in our professional lives as well as in our personal lives, in our careers as well as in our spiritual lives. Okay, so we are talking here about implementing the principles of Bhagavad Gita in our professional lives, in our family lives, in our spiritual lives. So now when we talk about management or leadership, what is the difference? Anybody know what is the difference between management and leadership? Yes, Balaprabhu.
I think management is just administrative stuff.
Okay, management is administrative stuff.
Leadership is entirely different. It's giving direction by
Okay.
inspiring and showing the way or something.
Okay, very good. So management, Balaprabhu said management is more of administrative stuff, just doing what has been told you, executing that now. And leadership is more of giving direction, okay, inspiring to do certain things. So if we really want to understand the difference between management and leadership, management is to do the things right. Leadership is to do the right things. You understand the difference? One word just plays differently. Management means doing the things right. Means now you have been given some task, you have been told to do something, now you execute it nicely. Yes, that is management, doing the things right. Leadership is doing the right things. So it involves first making the right decisions. First you need to know what I'm supposed to do, right? How I will help the others also to grow. So that is leadership. Making the right decisions, making the right things. So that is the difference in management and leadership. Many times people misunderstand management and leadership to be same thing. Okay, I am in management. Somebody may say I am in management. Somebody may say I am in the leadership role. And they don't understand what is the difference. So there is a very big difference in management and leadership. Okay, so many times we may be just managers. We are managing the things, how it has been going, just making sure others are functioning properly, doing the thing what they're supposed to do. But leadership is way ahead of that, way more than that, is first making the right decisions which are going to be beneficial for everybody in all aspects. So Lord Krishna is taking the role of a leader and telling Arjuna what is going to be beneficial for him. What did Arjuna say? I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I'm confused about my duties. Please, you instruct me. What is best for me? And Lord Krishna is now instructing Arjuna what is best for you to do. So Bhagavad Gita gives us ability to make the right decisions. And so when we want to learn from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita is the most wonderful literature in the whole history. There have been so many literature, people read so many motivational books. But we don't read Bhagavad Gita, which is the best motivational book. And this is the first motivational speech, motivational talk given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. And it is not a talk given in a conference room setup, in a nice AC environment or something. This talk is given on the battlefield, okay, where the decision or the life of so many millions of people is on the stake. And Bhagavad Gita is thus the most wonderful motivational talk given by Lord Krishna. So, while speaking some of the leadership sutras from Bhagavad Gita, we'll try to relate it some of the verses of Bhagavad Gita also. When I gave the talk in GM, I did not quote any verses. I just gave the principles. Okay, but here in our setup here, we'll quote the verses also and relate from where we are extracting this particular sutra. Okay, so first of all, when we speak about leaders, all of us are leader in one way or another. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand that we all are leader in one way or another. How? Somebody may be leader of the family, somebody, and we all are leader of our children, right? We set example for our children. So in that way, we are leader of our own family, we are leader for our children, and all of us have circle of influence. The scientific study says actually even the most introvert person throughout the course of his life influences thousands of people by his words, by his actions. Okay, most introvert person also. Somebody may say, oh, I'm not a good speaker or something. But the most introvert person also influences so many people throughout the course of his life. So we shape each other whether we have official leadership position or not. So leadership is not a matter of designation. Okay, one very important principle first of all, leadership is not a matter of designation, but leadership is a matter of disposition. What does it mean? Somebody doesn't have to appoint you, okay, now I appoint you at the level of manager, you are the leader for this group of people. It's not the matter of designation. It is a matter of disposition. What I feel, what is my responsibility? Do I understand my responsibility? Am I ready to set an example for others by my own behavior, by my own conduct? So we see all the leaders of ISKCON, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, they set example for everybody to follow by their own actions, by their own conduct. First of all, within their own sadhana, then preaching worldwide, building the communities, leading the thousands and thousands of devotees, how they can make their life successful. So leader shows by his own example. That's why in our context, the word used is acharya. Okay, acharya means one who shows by his own acharan. That is acharya. So leader also shows by his own example. So we all are in one way or another are the leader. And as I said, leadership is not a matter of designation, but a matter of disposition. Leadership is an action, not a position. In corporate world, many people make this mistake thinking, I am not at that position, I am not at that level. I am doing the job at my specified level. Okay, the salary I am being paid, I am doing the job for that. Not 1 cent more, not 1 cent less. But recently in our company we have a leadership meeting. In that, the thing which we described, people say, my company doesn't have a fair system of promoting people. Okay, I deserve higher position, I deserve higher salary. But then they are still doing the job of what level they are assigned to. So yes, you were hired for that particular level, you are doing the job of that particular level. It means it's perfect match. If we are seeking a higher position, it means first you need to prove yourself that you are doing the work for that level. It's not that once you are given that position, then you work at that level. But you have to prove that I am ready for that particular level. I am already working for that position. So now how we apply this principle in our spiritual life? Somebody may be thinking, oh, I am not the Bhakti Vriksha leader, I am not the temple leader, so I don't have to act in that particular way. No, we have to start showing that yes, I am behaving as an exemplary person, I am also acting at that level. So again, it's not a matter of designation, but it's a matter of disposition. It's not that somebody who is sitting in the front and giving the talk, he has to do all the things and he has to prove himself. We all have a responsibility to set an example for others. Because as I said, every person by their own action, by their own behavior, they influence other people. Somebody else come to the program, they think, oh, this person is coming for the last 4 years, 5 years, and he is also still like that. Coming in pant shirt, doesn't wear tilak. So it's okay for me also. Why I have to now start dressing up in dhoti kurta? So every small action matters. So we have to understand, are we acting at that level or not? Because that is influencing other people. So leadership is an action, not a position. Now Bhagavad Gita is conversation between two leaders about the fundamental principles of leadership. Lord Krishna is the speaker of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is the listener of Bhagavad Gita, and they both are leaders. And they both are leaders not by designation but by disposition. Okay, so many people, sometimes they are more attracted by seeing somebody who came from a very low position and they gained a very high status in the society. So they become more attracted by such people. Let's say Barack Obama. He came from a field which was a lot of people had based because of the background. There are some sort of what is the right word to say here? Discrimination maybe. right? So maybe there are certain discrimination. So he came from that level of background and coming to the level of president of the most powerful country, becoming like a most powerful person in the world. So people are attracted by such people, and they want to read their biographies and autobiographies. Like now our Indian Prime Minister, PM Narendra Modi, being from a family which is selling the tea, okay, chai wala, and now being the leader of the country and the most kind of one of the most powerful people in the world. So people are attracted to see such stories and they want to read about them, they want to read their biographies and autobiographies. Now here, if we see the life story of Lord Krishna and Arjuna, yes, Lord Krishna took birth in a royal family, but in what circumstances he appeared? In a prison house. And then he was moved from Mathura to Vrindavan and he lived in obscurities. And throughout the childhood also, there were so many attacks to kill the child. So he raised beyond all those and then finally came to Mathura. Just imagine a village person coming to the city and then dethroning the king, killing that king. And after that also he did not take himself as the position. Okay, he enthroned Maharaj Ugrasen and became as the advisor for Maharaj Ugrasen. So Lord Krishna, he is an example of leadership by disposition, not as designation. And same thing for Arjuna. Arjuna is the third of the 5 Pandavas. So he himself is not directly the king of Indraprastha or Hastinapur. But Arjuna is seen as a leader. Okay, and he proved his position again based on his merit, being as the best archer. So first of all, these positions are based on merit, not based on the family hereditary. That somebody has taken birth in a royal family and based on that they have acquired that position. So if we see in Bhagavad Gita, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, they are speaking about the leadership principles and both of them are leader by disposition, not by designation. Remember that one point. Okay, so now when we talk about leadership, we have to understand it is public leadership versus personal leadership, two different things. Okay, public leadership is how we deal with others, how we inspire others and how we can get others to do the things. That is public leadership. But personal leadership is the leadership which we are able to lead ourselves with our own psyche. So first of all, to be able to lead ourselves, to handle our own war within, okay, that is personal leadership. And when we talk about public leadership also, in that also there are two types of leader. In public leadership, one is known as a people leader, or one second type of leader is who just want to utilize everybody as resources. Okay, in your office also, you will see there are two types of managers. One manager is who is just as a actual people leader. Okay, who consider other people as people. He is concerned about their problems also, their well-being also. And there are many managers who consider everybody as just object for him to get his work done. Okay, just utilizing other people as resources. So there is a 80-20 rule here. 20% of the manager are who are actually maybe really the people leader. 80% of the managers are who consider other people as just as a resource. So yes, public leader is somebody who may be just getting other people to get the job done. But the personal leader is first of all who is able to lead himself first, who is able to conquer his own real weaknesses within. That is personal leadership. So public leadership means competency. Somebody may develop some competencies like some speaking skills. Okay, somebody is good at speaking, convincing others, giving some presentations. So person may be externally gain some competencies and be eligible for becoming a public leader. But personal leadership means character. integrity. Does that person has his own character values, his integrity? Public leadership is like the building, and personal leadership is like the foundation. Okay, do we have that foundation where we value our root principles? So there is very clear understanding we need to have about public leadership versus personal leadership. And I can guarantee you, if you understand these basic principles, the leadership sutras from Bhagavad Gita, you can succeed in all walks of life. If you are preparing for an interview, just master some of these leadership sutras, you quote these in your interview, and you will do much better in your interview. And I have my personal experience. I'm telling you based on my first-hand personal experience. Okay? So, one of the measurement we do is proficiency measurement. What is the meaning of proficiency measurement? Proficiency measurement means how much you did divided by how much you could do multiplied by 100. That will give you your proficiency measurement. See, we do efficiency calculation, right? How much efficient that person is. So this is proficiency, not efficiency, proficiency. Proficiency measurement is how much you did divided by how much you could do. If I have the ability to lift 100 kg, but I lifted only 20 kg, what is my proficiency? 20%. 20 divided by 100. Okay, people think I am doing so much work for my company. I am doing so much service for the temple. But my temple or my company is not recognizing me enough, or they don't appreciate me enough, they don't value me enough. What is the real proficiency? I have the ability to do much more, but I am doing much less than what I am capable of. Am I really being proficient? Sometimes we do what is bare minimum assigned to us, right? We do the bare minimum job and we think, oh, I deserve a better position, I deserve a better salary, or I deserve a better recognition. So every tiny particle helps in binding the gap between the huge structure. If you look at the wall and the bricks in the wall, they think, we are great. We are holding this structure together. And the cement particle, the little bit cement particle in between is not of much value. The whole structure is standing on our strength. Is that a good statement? So every tiny particle matters. A wonderful story from Ramayana. When the bridge was being built, and Hanuman and all the Vanaras, they are bringing the big boulders to put in the ocean to build the bridge across the ocean. And there was a one small squirrel. She is also bringing dust particle and throwing the dust particles. And all these Vanaras, Hanuman, they are bringing big boulders, and this squirrel is running around and they are having little trouble. Okay. So they complained. They told the squirrel, you get on side, let us do our job. See, what will you do with this tiny particles, bringing little tiny particles, little sand? Will Hanuman said, you sit on the side, I will put one stone on your name. So the squirrel said, no, we also want to participate in the service of Lord Ramachandra. So all these Vanaras, they are thinking that our job is getting disturbed, and the matter went to Lord Ramachandra. So the case court, it came in the court. And the squirrel is saying, see, my lord, I also want to serve. And the Vanara is saying, we are getting disturbed. And Lord Ramachandra told a very wonderful principle at the time. Every tiny particle matters. Every tiny service matters. So if you want to be successful in all aspects of your life, we need to appreciate everyone for their little contribution. Rather than speaking about what is my great contribution, we need to acknowledge the contribution of other people also, no matter what small, tiny contribution it may be. So appreciating others, that is the quality of the leader. Appreciating other people. Because everybody is doing based on their ability. Now let's say the squirrel. The squirrel has the ability to do 20 kg only, but she is doing 20 gram only, but she is bringing 50 gram. So what is her proficiency? 250%. And the Vanaras, they could carry 500 kg, but they are bringing 250 kg boulders. What is their proficiency? 50%. So what matters is not how big task are you doing, but what matters is how much proficient you are. Somebody who came later in the process than us, they may be doing, in terms of measurement, they may be doing less than us. But if somebody is doing more than their capacity, they are better than us. So what matters is how much we are doing against our capacity. Are we doing as per our capacity, or we are underperforming? Maybe we all can do better than what we are doing. Isn't it? We may be thinking, oh, I go to temple 3 days a week, or I do 5-hour service. But maybe we can do even more than that based on our capacity. So we need to understand how much am I really contributing. So proficiency measurement, if you want to know the golden statement, it is not as important how much I did. More important is how much I could have done. Okay? This principle, this statement you can apply again in all walk of your life. In your family life, in your professional life, in your spiritual life. It's not important how much I did. More important is how much I could have done. It's not about I chanted 4 rounds today. How much I could have done. I attended Sunday feast program. I attend Sunday feast program once a week. But how much I could have done. So, leader set an example for others to follow. Okay? That is the quality of the leader. He shows by his own example. It's not the matter of that I am being the leader here and I dictate to others. It is showing by one's own example. If the leader is just giving commands to others, or we are arranging a big program, we want to attract 1,000 people, so you all now set up the chairs, make this arrangement and all that. The leader shows by his own example. He is the first one out there and doing the same task by himself also. And we see all our leaders in the movement, they have shown by their own example. Now, we are entering into Bhagavad Gita really based on certain verses, what principles but sutras we can adapt from Bhagavad Gita. The first thing is adapt to the changes quickly. The faster you adapt yourself to the new changes, the faster you will move towards success. Adapt to the changes. The only thing permanent in this world, you know what is that? Change. Nothing else is permanent in this world. Only thing permanent is change. There is going to be constant change. Our bodies are changing. Our life situation, life circumstances change. Your work environment may change. The set of devotees may change. Right? That is a constant change. 5 years back, this room was filled with different set of devotees. Now there are different set of devotees. And we have to accept that. We have to move forward with that. People will come and go. And somebody thinks, oh, this person, that was our leader, now that person is no more. Understand, change is permanent, change is constant. And we have to accept that. Earlier we accept and move with that, better we can be successful. Now, one should not get into this mentality of being irreplaceable. Okay, I am irreplaceable. Because change is constant. Today somebody may be leader, tomorrow somebody else may be the leader. So change is permanent. And one should also not think of without this person, how we will continue. So adapt to the changes. So in Bhagavad Gita, the first chapter, how it starts is, what is the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Arjun Vishada Yoga. Where Arjun is filled with confusion. He is putting forward all the reasons why he does not want to fight. Now, before Arjuna start putting his reasons why he does not want to fight, it's first observing the armies on both sides. So what happens is Duryodhana, after observing the army of the Pandavas, Duryodhana goes to Dronacharya. And Duryodhana, he describes, see the wonderful army arranged by your disciple, Drishtadyumna. He is finding the fault in his own guru. And then he starts glorifying himself. Duryodhana starts glorifying himself. What is he saying? See, now look at my army. All these people who have assembled on my side, who are ready to fight for me, and they are ready to lay down their lives for me.
Yes.
So what was this? Duryodhana's obstinacy. His proud. His mood was, Pandavas have been in the forest for last 13 years. Okay, they were not having any resources, whereas I was living in the palace and I have been continuously practicing my Gada Koshal. So I am irreplaceable. That was his mentality. Duryodhana's mentality was, I am irreplaceable. My people, they have been victorious earlier and now also they are going to be victorious. So he was into too much of this recent event trap, too much winning trap. Oh, I defeated Pandavas, I threw them out of the kingdom, I made them go to the forest. So he was into too much of this recent event trap, too much into winning trap. He was thinking Karna has won so many battles and he's going to win this battle also. So he was in this mentality of, I am irreplaceable, and one should never come into this mindset that I am the best, I am irreplaceable, because we know there are so many people came and went. Okay, so many companies came and went. Now we don't even remember those companies. The trend changes. If somebody does not adapt with the changing trend, they are gone. They disappear. So many companies earlier, like Xerox, Kodak, right? Earlier the cameras was Kodak camera or something. Now, does that exist? Because they did not adopt the changing market trends. They could not survive. So we also have to remember, we have to constantly learn. We have to move with the change. Don't get into this mentality, I know a lot, we have always done it this way and we are going to continue doing this way. We should always be ready for learning new things. So, adopt to the changes quickly, and then never take decisions when you are angry or when you are too happy also. In both states, one should not make decision. Either when you are too angry or when you are too happy. Because you will end up making the wrong decisions. Arjuna's case also. In Bhagavad Gita, what was Arjuna's situation? He was too much into anxiety, too much into lamentation. And he was making a decision, I don't want to fight this war, better I will go to the forest, live like a mendicant. And he put down his Gandiva bow, sat down on the chariot. So his decision was in this particular situation where he was too much upset, too much confused. So one should not make any decision under these circumstances. And work on building your emotional intelligence. Bhagavad Gita teaches us to work on emotional intelligence. Bhagavad Gita is not telling you should not have emotions. Yes, you can have emotions. It's okay to have emotions. But it's not okay to make emotional decisions. Yeah, emotions will be there. Somebody near and dear one is dying. Yes, there will be emotions. We have been associating with them for so long. And somebody is leaving us. Yes, we will have emotions. We have emotional attachments. But do not make emotional decisions. It's okay to have sentiments, but not okay to make sentimental decisions. Okay, if somebody is on the post of a judge and his own son is brought as a criminal, and the judge thinks, now how can I make a decision? He's on my own son. So then he is working at the level of emotions. Yes, you can have emotions for your son, but at that level of responsibility, it's not okay for you to make emotional decision. Arjuna was making emotional decision. On the other side, these are all my own relatives. How can I fight with them? So yes, it's okay to have emotions, but don't make emotional decision. Don't come to a conclusion while you are too upset with something, too angry or too happy. Because later on, then you will have too much problem based on your decision. And another great quality of the leader is lead inspirationally. Good leaders talk. Great leaders listen. Okay, that's why we generally give this example that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. It's for some purpose, that you should listen more and speak less. So the great leaders, they listen first to others' opinion. When a leader wants to come to a decision, they don't just impose their own decision on others. First they have a discussion session. What do you think about this? How should we handle this situation? So they try to take the opinion of other people. Listen to others rather than just imposing their own decision. This is what I think, this is what I feel. You all carry out this particular task. So it's not like that. So leaders should listen to others, and that is from where Bhagavad Gita really starts. The whole first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna did not speak. Arjuna is speaking. Lord Krishna did not speak. After Arjuna finally told Lord Krishna, now I am a soul surrendered unto you, I am your disciple. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Now you please instruct me. Then Lord Krishna started speaking. Before that he was just having a friendly conversation. Arjuna is speaking, and Lord Krishna is listening. And many times what mistake we do, or many of the people, many of the leaders do, is they don't listen to others, what others are telling. They are just constantly waiting when I will speak. Okay, in the meetings you observe, many of times people may be just waiting, oh, let him finish and then I will mention this thing, I want to say this. They may not be even focusing on what other person is telling. So listen attentively first. So the principle is basically you try to connect with the person before trying to convince other person. Okay, so the sutra here is try to connect with the person before you try to convince that person. Let's say if some vendor comes, okay, some other supplier comes to me and they are just talking without first listening to your requirement. Will it be beneficial for you? So they are downloading too much, they are trying to convince other person, but without first connecting, right? Without first understanding their need and their requirement. So try to connect with the other person before trying to convince other person. And this is what Lord Krishna did. He is connecting with Arjuna. He is listening to Arjuna. That okay, you continue, you speak first. And then Lord Krishna started speaking. So that is very important principle which we can learn. And many of our great leaders, our Guru Maharaj, they will listen. Okay, they will listen, okay. Even though we may be just blabbering some nonsense things, they are listening. Okay, we may be just telling, oh, I work in this company, I do this, I do that, and they will patiently listen. It may be completely irrelevant. And they are just listening. Did it happen? So, great leader, they listen to connect with the other person. Maharaj, I know he doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to ask about our material lives. What do you do? Where do you work? And whenever he comes, he will ask these questions also. Why? Just trying to connect, making other person comfortable. When he meets a new person, he will just ask, okay, so from where are you? And where do you work? How is your work? What kind of work you do? Just kind of trying to connect with that person so that person feels, oh, he is not just talking about how many rounds you do, but how many lectures you listen or all that. He is just trying to make that person more comfortable and connect with that person. So connect before convincing. Now, 2.7, Bhagavad Gita 2.7, where Arjuna finally surrenders and Lord Krishna starts speaking. And the first leadership sutra, after that, what Krishna is conveying is, don't become a circumstantial leader, but become a substantial leader. Okay, many times we are making our decisions based on circumstances. Okay, our ability to do certain thing depends on the circumstances. Is that right or wrong? Oh, if all the circumstances are good, then I will be able to do this. And especially if I apply this principle in our spiritual life, it applies 100% true. Okay, we all are circumstantial bhaktas. If all the circumstances are perfect, then we will come to Bhakti Riksha program. If all the circumstances are perfect, then we will come to temple. Otherwise, oh Prabhuji, today I have this plan, tomorrow I have that plan, today I have this home problem, tomorrow I have that problem. Sorry, I cannot come today. So most people are being as circumstantial bhaktas. And when it comes to leadership also, many people are circumstantial leaders. Their ability to perform, to do their performance is based on circumstances. And that's what Arjuna was showing the symptom. Okay, he was shivering, the Gandiva was slipping away from his hands because he was too much overcome by grief. He was overcome by the circumstances. And Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, don't become a circumstantial leader, become a substantial leader. What does substantial leader means? The substantial leader is able to handle his mood swings. He is not just working based on his own mood swings. He is able to control his mood swings and do what is the right thing to do in that particular situation. So be a substantial leader, not a circumstantial leader. That's why Krishna spoke 2.14. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhada agma paino nitya stam titikshasva bharata. So circumstantial leader, they run away based on certain circumstances. But the substantial leader, they are able to tolerate all the situations, all the dualities of life. Okay, yes, I may have my personal problem, but right now I am in this position, this is my responsibility, this is my duty, I have to do this. So they give more weightage to their responsibility, their duty, rather than their own circumstances. For example, somebody is a doctor, is a surgeon, his own daughter is getting married, time of Kanyadan, and there is a emergency call. Somebody had an accident and he is in the operation theatre. He need to go through this emergency surgery. Now what is this doctor supposed to do? Attend his own daughter's wedding or save the life of that person? Both are important, isn't it? What is his duty at that time? He can say, oh, I have to attend my wedding. Sorry, you find some other doctor. Call somebody else. I am not able to come. So substantial leader is he give preference to his dharma, his higher responsibility. So don't become a circumstantial leader. If all the circumstances are right, then I will do this. It's like going to the beach. You want to swim in the ocean and just standing on the beach, waiting. I have given this example so many times. Just waiting and somebody comes and asks, sir, why did you come here? Oh, I came to bath in the ocean. So then what are you waiting for? I am waiting for all the waves to settle down. You are standing at the beach. The waves are going to come and go. The waves are never going to settle down. So in our life also, we being as a circumstantial bhakta, we are waiting for everything else to be first perfect. Then I will be able to come to temple, to the program or this or that. Otherwise, oh, today I have this thing or that thing. So don't be a circumstantial sadhaka. Try to raise above that level. And then, life is a battlefield. Fight boldly. Yes, there will be situations in life you have to continue. You have to just keep going. And when I say life is a battlefield, fight boldly, the principle here is be consistent. Be consistent in your actions. Either it's your professional life, your spiritual life, be consistent. Consistency is the key. So continue to make consistent efforts. Like a water drop keep falling on a stone consistently. What will happen? That water drop will make a hole in the stone also. So same way the little efforts we do, they can yield huge results. But we have to be consistent. And don't take to the unfair means. So you fight your battle with the right means. Don't take to the unfair means. When I say unfair means to uplift ourselves, there are two ways. Okay, to prove yourself better than others, there are two ways you can do that. You know what are those two ways?
Either good or bad. Either right or wrong.
Either right or wrong, okay.
Either uplift yourself
Or step on others.
or step on other. Show other one.
So how you can prove yourself better than others is, one is by criticizing your opponent and putting him down, so you automatically becomes better, right? Or the second way is you improve your skill set. You improve yourself and in that way you raise up. Most people take to the first method, they try to criticize other people and put other people down, make them insignificant in that way, and in that way they prove themselves better. So don't take to the unfair means. Fight your war in fair and square way. Yes, you prove yourself better. You improve yourself. Gain the better skill set. So be consistent in your efforts. This is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. The famous verse from Bhagavad Gita 241. Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kuru nandana bahushakha hi anantasya buddhayo vyavasayinam. So what is Lord Krishna saying is Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Be consistent. Okay, little endeavor you make on this path, it will yield the huge result. Anything somebody has done little bit on this path never goes in vain. So you continue making little improvement. In that way, be consistent. Not that 1 week I come and then for 1 month I am disappearing. Will you do that in your office like that? What will the company do then if you do like that?
Let you go home and rest.
Okay, you stay there only. Tomorrow onwards, no need to come here. And so be consistent. You have to prove that yes, I am serious about this. If somebody is taking too many offs, the company will say we have to find somebody. See, it's just like any particular instrument, any particular machine. Let's say you have a mixer grinder. Your mixer grinder fails one time. Maybe one time you try to fix this, repair this. Second time it fails. Maybe you will try to fix this. If it keep failing again and again, what will you do? Throw it away and bring another one. Right? So in the companies also, if we are showing irresponsibility, they will say, okay, you don't fit here. They will replace you with somebody else. In spiritual life also, yes, here nobody is going to throw you out. But it's our own responsibility. What kind of example we are setting for others? Right? So, we have to be consistent in our actions. Krishna says, Vyavasayatmika buddhi. One-pointed attention, fixed attention. Many people have their goals, they want to attain their goals, but they are not consistent towards their goals. They are not consistent with their actions. In the beginning of the year, everybody make New Year resolutions. Either it could be our health related, finance related, relationship related, spiritual progress related. We make our goals, but then people are not consistent with the action plan. So Krishna says, Vyavasayatmika buddhi, be consistent with your action plan. And leadership is not enjoyment but service. Okay, being a leader is not being the enjoyer, that yes, everybody comes and glorify me and listen to my commands. So leadership is not enjoyment, but leadership is a service. And generally we give the example of ice cream and the candle. Ice cream, some people mentality is eat before it melts, right? So that is enjoyment mentality. And the candle is giving the light before it's gone. Okay, giving the light to others, showing the way to others. So that is a great leader who shows the way to others, don't taking the leadership position as something as a privilege or enjoyment. And what is the verse Krishna is mentioning? 244. Bhogashwarya prasaktanam taya apaharta chetasa vyavasayatmika buddhi samadho na vidhiyate. So bhog ashwarya prasaktanam, somebody who is too much into enjoyment propensity, too much into opulences, gaining opulences, that person cannot be fixed resolution. That person cannot have one-pointed attention. So why people cannot come to that state of leadership is because they are seeking some enjoyment outside. Right? They are worrying about their own enjoyment. They are not fixed on their path. If somebody comes to me, in college life you may have experience. There will be people who are always seeking out enjoyment. Right? If you have a hostel life experience, anybody has a hostel life experience? So you'll see there are some people, some your other students with you in the hostel or something who are always looking for enjoyment. Somebody comes, hey, today it's raining. Yeah, so let's go eat some pronta. Right? Let's go to have some fun, eat some pronta, samosas or something, nice weather, raining. Okay, next day, hey, today it's not raining. Then, yeah, let's go outside, have some fun. So every situation they are seeking out for some happiness, some enjoyment, not worrying about their responsibility. In spiritual life, what happens? Hey, today weather is very nice. Let's go to Holland Tulip Festival. Tomorrow it's raining. So who will go to temple? Let's just sit at home. So one way or another, they are just looking for their own comfort or their own happiness or enjoyment. That person is not having that one-pointed attention, the fixed resolution. So Krishna says, Bhogashwarya prasaktanam taya paharta chetasa. They can never come to this fixed attention, fixed resolution, who are always seeking out their own enjoyment and they are too much attached to the opulences, comforts. So leadership is not enjoyment but service. And focus on the process, not on the result. What is the time?
Almost 7:30.
7:30. Okay, I will try to finish in another 10 minutes. Whatever we can, and maybe we'll do a part 2. So, focus on the process, not on the results. And 2 very wonderful quotes I put is, the game rewards that player the most for whom the game is the biggest reward. Somebody is playing the game for the sake of playing, not worrying about losing or winning. Okay, he is not constantly looking at the scoreboard. Game rewards that person the more for whom the game is the biggest reward. Who is playing the game for the sake of just having the fun while playing the game, not worrying about the losing or winning. And matches in the life are won by those who focus on the match, not on the scoreboard. And what is the principle? From where we are extracting this principle? Bhagavad Gita 2:47. Lord Krishna says, don't worry about the result. You just work on what is in your hand. You do your action. Don't worry about the result. Karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur ma te sangostava karmani. You have the right to perform your duty, but you are not entitled to the result of your action. So don't worry about the result. You just do your duty. And if somebody thinks, what is the point in doing my work if I am not entitled to the result, if I should not worry about the result? So if I should not worry about the result, then why should even I do my action? Better if everything is predetermined, if everything is based on prarabdha, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Why should even I act? Promotion आना है तो आएगा, भक्ति में progress होना होगा तो होगा, गोलोक का धाम कभी जाना होगा तो जाएंगे. Krishna will make the arrangement. Why should I do my action only? Right? So it's not like that. See, if you do the action, result comes or doesn't come, it depends on Krishna. But if you don't even do the action, then there is guarantee no result. Isn't it? So if somebody puts the seed in the farm, yes, it depends on the rain, if there is nice rain or not, and the crop depends on that. But if somebody doesn't put the seed itself, plow the field itself, then it's guarantee, no result. So Krishna says, you do your duty as a matter of duty, don't worry about the result. So that is the principle. Focus on the process, focus on your action, don't worry about the result. Okay, and then be a personal leader rather than a public leader. Focus on being a personal leader. So what is the meaning of personal leader? We said it's about the character, not the competency. And when we talk about the character, means one shows by his own example that one is able to control the dictations of his mind, one is able to curb his senses. So be a personal leader. Leader is somebody who does not listen to the dictations of mind. And one is regulated in one's own habit. If somebody is in a leadership position but having all sort of wrong habits, somebody is smoking, drinking, okay, every 2 hours he's going out of the building and taking a smoking break. What kind of example is he setting for others? And he is not having of a good character. He is always looking at the opposite gender with wrong intentions. What kind of leadership he is, what kind of example he will set for others? So one personal leader means he is of good character and he is regulated in his mind and in his habits. And the verses from Bhagavad Gita 6.6 and 6.17, Krishna is saying somebody who has conquered his mind, the mind is the best friend. But somebody who has not conquered his mind, he is a slave to his mind. But many times people say, I am the king of my mind. My mind, whatever he says, I do that. I am the king. Yes, sir, you are not the king. You are the slave of your mind. Because you are doing whatever your mind is telling. How are you the master of your mind? You are the slave of your mind. फिर लोग बोलते हैं मैं तो अपने दिल का राजा हूं, मन का राजा हूं. So you are not the king of your mind, you are the slave of your mind. And the leader is somebody who is not listening to the dictations, the whims of the mind. First of all, he does not come to a decision conclusion by his own whims. He will consult other people. You know, one very wonderful quote I read recently. The bravest person is one who seeks the help from others. Okay, generally people's mind shift is, I will be considered brave if I do everything on my own. But if I go to somebody, approach somebody to consult something or ask for help, I will be not considered as somebody as a brave person. But actually brave person means somebody who is willing to ask help from others. And that leadership means consulting others. What is their opinion? To come to a decision, to come to a conclusion. Having a kind of a brainstorming session. Okay, so being regulated in one's habit, Very wonderful verse from Bhagavad Gita 6:17. Yukta ahar viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapna bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. One should be regulated in one's eating, in one's sleep, in one's recreation and in one's work. So one should be regulated in these activities. Not overeating or undereating, not oversleeping or undersleeping. One is very regulated. So sleeping early, getting up early in the morning. And you pick up any leader of any big company and you read their biographies. What is the habits of the successful people, the most successful people? One of the habit will be they get up early in the morning. Show me any leader who say, I do not get up early in the morning.
That will be impossible. Yeah.
So be regulated. Be regulated in your sleeping, in your eating habits. Even for gaining something materially, to become materially successful, people have to regulate their eating and sleeping. And for spiritual progress also, if we want to progress in spiritual life, for that also we have to be regulated in our eating, sleeping, recreation. Recreation means if somebody is, again, coming back to enjoyment propensity, right? Every time trying to seek fun outside. Okay, today I am going to this place, tomorrow I am going for movie, or today we have this program or that get together with friends or some potluck or something. So you are always seeking out fun, you are not focused on your spiritual life. So we have to become regulated in our mind and regulated in our habits. And that is being a personal leader. So maybe I will stop here today and we will do a part 2 maybe next time. There are quite a few other things which I want to mention based on Bhagavad Gita and some of the particular situations from Mahabharata war. Okay, how Krishna. So I will just tell you briefly. A leader means who knows how to utilize the resources. Okay, we will cover one more point I think and we'll stop here, and I may not have to do a full another session. So I will just do one thing here. A leader strategizes things. So strategy means utilizing the right tool or the right people at the right time. It's not about making everybody to do the same type of work. So understanding what are their strengths and weaknesses and putting them into the right work accordingly. Okay, so utilizing the right tool and people at the right time. For example, if somebody is good in speaking and another person is good in cooking, or so let's say Bala Prabhu is very good in speaking but he is not very good at cooking. He is 3 out of 10 for cooking and 7 out of 10 for speaking. And if the leaders, they want to utilize Bala Prabhu in a proper way, where they should be focusing on?
Not cooking.
His speaking, right? Better is to improve on his speaking further and utilizing him in that way. But if they think, oh, you are weak in cooking, let's focus on your cooking. Okay, you attend some cooking classes, take some trainings for this, and we want to engage you in that particular field. So that is not a good use of the resource. Yes, in school time, the principle was opposite. Okay, if the student is weak in math, they will focus, oh, we want to help you become better at math little bit, so at least you can pass that subject. Right? So that was the intention. But in the actual work environment, it becomes opposite. There is no point in focusing on the weakness. Focus on the strength and better make that further improve on that. So in spiritual life also, somebody may be good in particular service, and there is no point in telling that, okay, we have DT worship department, we have garland making department, we have pot washing department and this thing. So we want to see you in everything. Somebody may be good at particular thing. Somebody is good in making presentation and speaking, conveying that philosophy, giving that message. But if the temple management, they say, you are conducting a lot of preaching program, that is very good, but you are not doing any other service in the temple. You are not coming to the altar and doing the deity worship, decorating or dressing the deities. So you should focus on that also. That is not the right type of leadership. So the real leadership means utilizing the resources in the right way at the right time. And this is what Krishna is demonstrating. Now I will quote you a couple of stories, couple of examples from Mahabharata Bhar, how Lord Krishna is exemplifying this particular point. Strategy. What does strategy means? So in the war, we know Karna was having the Shakti weapon. And Karna wanted to utilize that Shakti weapon against Arjuna. He wanted to kill Arjuna by utilizing his Shakti weapon. And Lord Krishna did not introduce Ghatotkach in the war till that time. And then Lord Krishna said, okay, now bring Ghatotkach and put Ghatotkach in front of Karna. Let Ghatotkach fight with Karna. So Ghatotkach, he destroyed the army of Kauravas, harassed them so much, Karna was forced to use his Shakti weapon on Ghatotkach. So in that way, Karna, he utilized the Shakti weapon, now Arjuna was saved. Yes, Ghatotkach, Krishna sacrificed the life of Ghatotkach to protect the life of Arjuna. So that was the right use of the resource. He used Ghatotkach at the right time in the right way. And then comes another situation in Mahabharata war, which was Chakravyuh. When Dronacharya, he arranged for the Chakravyuh, and their purpose was to trap Yudhishthira Maharaj. Okay, so that they can win this war, make him a slave, kind of capture Yudhishthira Maharaj, so the war will be over. And at that time, because Arjuna was distracted to some other place, Arjuna was taken away from that place, and in the meantime, Dronacharya arranged for this Chakravyuh, and at that time, Abhimanyu was used to enter into that Chakravyuh. So, till that point, we again do not see Abhimanyu's role much in the war. But this is the point where Abhimanyu was utilized in this particular situation. So again, Krishna is exemplifying, utilizing the resources, right resource at the right time. So a great leader should understand what are the weaknesses and strength of a particular person and how they can be best utilized. And basically giving opportunity for everybody for their further growth. Not thinking, no, I want to use in this particular way only. Okay, and a good mentor is worth an entire army.
Yes.
Okay, what is the example from Mahabharata? Krishna, good mentor is worth an entire army. We know the classic pastime situation where both Duryodhana and Arjuna went to seek help from seek help from Krishna. And Krishna said, I am not going to lift any weapon. On one side my whole army, on one side I am alone. And alone also not lifting any weapon. So Arjuna said, no, I did not come here to seek help from your army. I came here to seek help from you. I want you to become my mentor. Okay, you direct my chariot in this war. And Arjuna was not literally asking to drive the chariot of his chariot. He was telling, direct the chariot of my life. Okay, become the chariot driver, become the mentor of my life. You guide me, you direct me what I am supposed to do. So on one side Krishna's whole army, on another side Krishna himself just as a mentor. So a good mentor is more than the whole army. Because the mentor can, based on his guidance, his instruction, he can help the person navigate through the situations of life. So Krishna can be personally present, or Krishna can be present in the form of Bhagavad Gita. So that's why we call Bhagavad Gita as the GPS of life. Okay, GPS, as a GPS shows direction, navigation. So same way Bhagavad Gita is showing the direction for our life. And if we follow the directions given by Bhagavad Gita, then we can reach to the right destination. So these are some of the leadership sutras which I discussed from Bhagavad Gita, and mainly I spoke from first chapter, second chapter, and little bit from sixth chapter, some of the leadership sutras. Okay, and maybe from the third chapter also, the leader shows by his example. Krishna quotes the example, Yad Yad Acharati Sreshta. Okay, as a great personality act, the other people follow. So the leader should show by his own example. Okay, that principle is also from Bhagavad Gita. A leader shows by his own example. Yad Yad Acharati Sreshta. So with that I will stop here. And again, we have so many true leaders in our movement who have been the pivot point to give us the direction, to show us the direction how we can move forward in our life, and while taking care of our family life, professional life, how we can continue on the spiritual life and make our overall life a success. So if we follow their instructions, their guidance, we can also become successful in the life. And what is the best goal of our life? The most important goal of our life?
Self-realization.
Self-realization.
Go back to Godhead.
Go back to Godhead, developing our relationship with Krishna, ultimately going back to Him. And even if somebody is a materialistic point of view, the goal of life is, when people say I want to become successful, the real success is they are speaking about becoming happy. Right? I want to become happy. Because happiness is not only in wealth or in power or position. Even if somebody gains a lot of wealth, power, position, if they are not able to gain that real happiness, then what is the point of all that? So the real goal is not gaining all these material things, but the real goal is gaining that ultimate happiness. And that ultimate happiness can be gained when we connect with the ultimate source of happiness. Okay, and that source of happiness is Lord Krishna. So we'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any quick question or comment?
So can you describe more what is disposition?
Disposition means, okay, Hare Krishna. Disposition means it's our own internal calling. Okay, that yes, I want to take this responsibility. It's not that somebody has to give you this responsibility, but you come forward and say, I will take this responsibility. Okay, so that is what I mean by it's not a matter of designation, but matter of disposition. So ourselves, by oneself coming forward and taking that in charge, taking that responsibility. And gaining success in life, even in our professional life, it's not about doing more work. It's again about the level of responsibility. Are you able to show responsibility or not? It's not about doing more work that you are showing in front of your manager, I'm working 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. It's about the level of responsibility. Are you able to take responsibility of your actions or not? Accountability. So responsibility and accountability. Okay, anything else?
So you said that asking someone is a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it comes to ego for some person that why should I ask to someone?
Yeah.
Right? So that is also.
So that's what we need to overcome. We need to overcome that tendency. Why I have to ask somebody else? I just want to do whatever I feel like. So then we can never be coming to the level of that leadership, that personal leadership ability. So because we are holding on to our ego only, we are working at the level of ego. Arjuna has to give up that ego, and he took shelter of Krishna. Okay, you please guide me. What is good for me? So we have to seek out the guidance from somebody who is better situated than us. Okay, again, it's not about seeking guidance from anybody and everybody. Okay, we have to know from where to seek that guidance.
So in normal, like always manager will look at the people, generally he is doing independently or not, or is depending on other people or not. So, but you are saying depending means when we ask somebody help, so that person can consider it as a he is depending on other people, so he is not doing the independently, so
No.
he is not a
See, if somebody is trying to just do on his own, by his own side, and not able to solve one problem, that also is seen negatively. That this person does not want to collaborate with other people. He does not want to seek help. It's not about reinventing the wheel by ourselves. It's better to leverage other people who know that particular thing better. It means, yes, you may be trying to show that, yes, I want to do it on my own, I will solve the problem, but then you are not able to collaborate with others, then you are not a team player. So you have to balance both. Are you willing to collaborate with others or not? Are you willing to be a team player or not? It's not that everybody want to just work in their own silos. Okay, we are here in our professional lives, we are working as teams. And you are supposed to work properly with other teammates also. So you understand the difference? So both situations are okay. Yes, I want to show independence, I want to work independently, kind of taking accountability and responsibility, but at the same time I should be able to collaborate with others, seek help when needed.
क्योंकि ये अर्जुन को जो क्वेश्चन आया कि बाकी 4 लोगों को नहीं आया था क्या?
बाकी 4 लोग मतलब
सर महाराज
Yes.
उनके हाथ नहीं कांपे क्या?
So the war stopped at 2 times. First, Yudhishthira Maharaj went and paid obeisances to Bhishma and Dronacharya, saying that yes, we have come here now not based on our desire, but based on whatever circumstances were put forward in front of us. So now please allow us, okay, give us permission. So they went to take permission and take their blessings.
Yeah.
Second time the war stopped is now Arjuna brought in front of, because Krishna is using Arjuna as an instrument here. Krishna said, take my chariot in front of the 2 armies. Arjuna said, take my chariot in front of the 2 armies. Krishna could have taken it anywhere. Krishna specifically brought in front of Bhishma and Drona. Okay, you wanted to see who are on the other side? See.
Okay.
Why? Because Krishna had multiple purposes here, what he is trying to accomplish. He is giving this philosophy to the world based on that particular circumstance and situation. If Krishna could have told Arjuna night before that tomorrow war is going to start, let's talk Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna could have said, Krishna, baad mein dekhenge, abhi I am preparing for this war, I am going to get ready. But now Krishna put Arjuna in that situation, completely bewildered, and now Arjuna became an instrument, and Arjuna himself asked, please guide me, please instruct me. Right? So Krishna is a perfect teacher, and Krishna is using the war field as the medium, or as the what we call as a live experience.
Situation.
So generally people say we want to have the real world environment to learn, right? Hands-on experience. So rather than just theory, we want to have hands-on experience. So Krishna is creating the whole war field as the lab and giving Arjuna as a hands-on experience. Okay, anything else?
It is not as important how much I did, more important how much I could have done.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, like for example, okay, if it is spending 8 hours and spending 11 hours, the more we spend, maybe most of the time, the more we learning. So then but don't work more. That is another also. So how do we balance this?
So again, you have to balance. Again, yukta ahara viharasya yukta swapna bodhasa. You have to balance between your work also. It doesn't mean you just keep workaholic. It continues, keep working 8 hours rather than 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. I want to work more. It's not about working hard, but working smart. Okay, otherwise, all the hard-working people should be the most successful people in the world, right? Somebody who's doing a labor job, working 12 hours, 14 hours, they should be the most successful people. So it's not about working hard, that I am putting more hours into the work, but it's about working smart. Somebody may be working 4 hours and they can still accomplish all those things. So one has to learn sometime now again, it depends on the role, right? It's not that if somebody is in a leadership role, they have to learn how to delegate the work to others. Based on as you move forward in the career, you are giving a promotion or something, promotion brings more responsibility. Now earlier, if you were already working 8 hours, now you got a promotion, it doesn't mean now you have to start working 12 hours. Okay, it means now you need to work more intelligently and learn how to get that same work done and delegate the work. Okay, delegate that responsibilities also to some other people to get the work done, utilizing the resources, the right resources at the right time. If based on my new role, if I have to fulfill that role, it means I have to work 16 hours now, because it's 2 roles combined. So earlier 2 people were doing 8 hour, 2 roles. Now if I have to do that, it means I have to spend 16 hours. It's not about that. They want to also see, are you able to handle that work and delegate the work or not? So see, disclaimer, the most important part in my life, in my professional life or in spiritual life also, the fundamentals of Bhagavad Gita are the key point. First time 2008, I went for one interview. Okay, I was working for a small consulting company and they used to basically place people at different places, okay, because they work for different companies, different OEMs and vendors. So they sent me for one interview with one OEM, and in that interview, now I had started recently in spiritual life, learning Bhagavad Gita, because I started at 2005-2006 time, and this is I'm telling you from 2008. So I went in the interview, and 2 people who were taking the interview, I remember I very boldly spoke about Bhagavad Gita in the interview. And I spoke just on Bhagavad Gita. They did not ask me any technical questions. I just spoke some philosophy, some principles from Bhagavad Gita, how that can be applied in the professional life. Okay, and then my recent interview, which happened maybe a month back or something, I did one interview, and in that also I implemented the principles of Bhagavad Gita, these leadership sutras, some of these leadership sutras, how to handle the work, utilizing the right resources at the right time, and I mentioned one PFP principle. I did not talk today. PFP principle. Okay, giving feedback. See, in our organizations now, there is a concept of seeking feedback and giving feedback, okay, and taking it in a constructive way. So I mentioned about PFP formula. PFP formula is praise, feedback, praise. Okay, you start with, even if you want to give some negative feedback to somebody, don't jump directly, oh, you did not do this thing right and you need to learn how to do this thing. Start with praise. Okay, first start on a positive, not telling, hey, you are very good at this particular thing, or just kind of mention about some of their positive things. And then, by the way, today the reason I am having this discussion with you, I wanted to bring this particular point to your attention. Okay, giving them the feedback. And then don't leave at the negative note. Again, end with a positive note. Giving them some, again, positive feedback. Praising them for something. So PFP formula. And from where this PFP formula is coming? Bhagavad Gita. Okay, before Krishna started telling Arjuna anything, he is praising Arjuna also. How he is praising Arjuna? Hey, you are Kanteya, you are Bharatarashva, you are Dhananjaya. Okay, you belong to such a high class family. And then, from where did this weakness come into you? Hey, you are acting like a coward person. First telling about positive things, right? Relating to them, you belong to... And then Krishna told all the negative, all the weaknesses of Arjuna. And then again at the end, Krishna is speaking about positive thing. Yeah, ending the note with a positive note. So PFP formula, again, that's why I say Bhagavad Gita is the first and most important motivational talk. I clearly mentioned this PFP formula. They asked me how you deal with your colleagues and if you have to give this. So I say I utilize this PFP formula. So that's why I say you can utilize this in your daily life and put it into practice and you will see the result. So first we need to become personal leaders, then becoming as a public leader. Control on your own mind and your habits. Don't seek into enjoyment propensity, but as a service attitude. Come forward and take responsibility rather than always thinking somebody will tell me, then I will do this. Okay, taking responsibility. You all can start your Bhakti Vriksha program. You don't have to wait somebody to tell you that, oh, can you start Bhakti Vriksha program? Can you have a program at your home? Can you invite... Please, everybody invite more people. You should not wait for these things. Everybody should act on those. Let's all come together and take responsibility. Okay, why somebody has to come to you and ask every time? Rather, you come forward and tell, I want to do this. Very good. So, your leader also will be pleased. Yet, this person is serious. He is willing to take responsibility. He is willing to take accountability. Yeah. We need more and more preacher. Guru Maharaj, first instruction he gave me, he came to my home. 2013, Maharaj came first time to my home. And Maharaj told me, you have nice home, conduct Bhakti Vriksha programs and do preaching. Use your home in Krishna service. So, am I doing this Bhakti Vriksha program for my enjoyment? That everybody should see me as leader? This is as a service, following the instruction of the Guru. Guru Maharaj told, you should do this. So I am trying to do it as a service. Either it's a 10 people sitting, 20 people sitting, or people changing every few years. We have to continue with our service. So I am planning to put a list of all the personal instructions I have received from Maharaj, and everybody should do that. With your little interactions also with Maharaj, whatever personal instruction you have received, note down those personal instructions. That I spoke to Maharaj this particular day time or this particular incident, and Maharaj told me this particular thing. So that is like personal instruction. Yes, there are journal instructions also which come in the matter of as a, what do you call, the quotes or in the lectures, which Maharaj give as a journal instruction to everybody. But there are some personal instructions also. So we should always keep those personal instructions in the front of our mind and act on those. That this was the instruction given to me, I want to act on this to please my Guru Maharaj. In professional life, people talk about mentors. And in our spiritual life, we talk about Guru. Right? It's like mentor. Guru is the mentor. Now, yes, there could be a Diksha Guru, Siksha Guru. Both are there. Both are mentors in a different capacity. And we should have respect for both. So, we'll stop here.